Hi there, I'm Helen Barrett, vocal coach, and today I want to talk to you about how you can quite quickly improve your vocal tone and vocal expression using this: the mouth, the lips, the tongue, and the jaw. Now, we all know that it's really important to work on your breath control for singing, to develop resonance and have an understanding of how the larynx works. But what a lot of people forget to pay attention to is what they're doing with their mouth, what they're doing with their tongue, their jaw, and how that really affects the sound they make and the expression that comes out. So when a new singer comes to me, they can have a really nice voice. They can maybe understand breath control and how to use the diaphragm. But one of the things they often forget is to really take control of their mouth and use it in a way that it's really going to develop the sound and it's really going to express the song they're singing. Often it's not because they just don't know how to use their mouth, but maybe because of a habit that they've formed. When we talk to our friends and family, we don't need to really think about how we express words necessarily, we just do it. But also maybe it's because sometimes with singing you can feel quite self-conscious, and so opening the mouth a little bit wider and being that little bit more expressive can feel quite vulnerable. But it's really something that's going to make all the difference, and if you have a little bit of fun with it and really get a sense of what's going on, then you can create a whole myriad of sounds and expressions and be really in control of that. So the first thing I suggest is you want to grab a mirror and take a look at what you're doing with your mouth when you're singing. You might notice that actually I thought I was opening my mouth really wide, but I'm not opening it at all. You may notice that what you thought was a strong ooh shape was actually a downward mouth. Those are the things a lot of people do. So you have to become a bit of a Jim Carrey about it. Play with the sound. Be a bit silly with it. Play with the shapes of your mouth. See what comes out. Ooh, aye, ah. Now, your neighbours might think you've gone crazy, but actually you'll start to realise there's a whole raft of sounds which are yours that you can put into your songs whenever you want. Apart from the lip trill. I'm not sure why I did that, but anyway, it's okay. But anyway, there's a whole raft of sounds which are yours, and depending on what you want to express, you can do it just by changing the shape of your mouth. Now let's have a think about some of the shapes and what happens when you form them. So if, for example, you're singing an R sound, ah, and you have the corners of your mouth turned up, a bit like a smile, and then the jaw nice and loose, but not too far down, then you're going to create a really nice bright sound. But if you go to do an R sound, but the corners of your mouth are turned down, well, you're going to get a darker sound that may be flatter. Oh. The same goes for doing an ooh as well. People often come to me, maybe they're singing the word you, and they want it to be bright, they want it to be on the note. But actually they don't realise what they're doing with their lips and mouth. Quite often they're turned down, and so you get a flat sound. Ooh, you. So it's worth playing with. It's worth discovering what you're doing with your mouth and how it can really affect the brightness of your voice. It can affect whether your voice sounds full. It can affect whether you're flat or on the note. So take time with that, but have fun with it. Really play with it. Another thing why it's really important to experiment and to express yourself by using the lips, teeth and tongue and jaw is because it really helps with storytelling. Now, Ella Fitzgerald was a master of this when it came to her voice. When you listen to her, she didn't let a word or phrase go without thinking about it. If you are to put into YouTube Ella Fitzgerald's Summertime in Berlin, you'll hear a magnificent vocal performance in which she really uses her embouchure to create a beautiful, rich sound. It also sounds quite melancholy, and you definitely get the idea that it's a lazy afternoon in summer. But she's doing it by not forgetting those vowel sounds and by creating the words very carefully from the lips. She doesn't throw them away. It's really important because if you have something to say, something to sing about, maybe you're singing a sad song about heartbreak or a happy song, you want to make sure that the way you express those words, the way you express the tone, really reflects that. So take time with the words you sing. Take time with the sound. Play with it. It's not about wrong or right. It's not about there's a correct way to do it and there's not a correct way to do it. As long as if you are using healthy vocal tone and you're not going to cause yourself damage, and as long as you like what you're doing and like what you're hearing, then it is for you to express yourself the way you want to. And that is key. You have control with your vocal performance. You can create the sound you want to create by having a little bit of awareness and a little bit of knowledge about what you're doing with your lips, your tongue, your whole mouth and your jaw. So I highly recommend that today you start playing with the sound, playing with your mouth shapes. Ooh, ah, ee, moo, ah. Listening to what you're doing, experimenting, sing your favorite song, try different ways of doing it using different mouth shapes and see what color you get from your voice, see what expression you get from your voice. And I think if you do that, you'll start to feel really happy because it becomes your song and you are in control of the tones and the expression you make. So I hope you'll have a go. It's certainly one of my favorite things to do. Thanks very much for listening.